Guys, I am feeling very passionate today. Let me take out my Invisalign. I just woke up and I'm feeling very, just a huge sense of urgency to get this message out. It's going to sound very simple, but at the same time, it's very profound. And I think I'm actually going to post it the day that which is today, obviously, the day that I make this, because it's just, I'm so passionate about this topic. The topic is being impeccable with your word, okay? Specifically in relationships, like if you're trying to formulate a romantic bond with somebody, it's very important to be impeccable with your word. Not keeping your word can cause distrust automatically. It can cause people to be skeptical about you, and it's just not good. Like someone like me, for example, who loves and needs and craves words of affirmation, as that's like one of my main love languages. Like, it's very important for someone like me because, like, if a guy is saying something, like, I take him at his word. And that doesn't mean I'm naive. It just means that I take myself at my word. Okay? Here's what I've noticed. People that do not take their own word seriously are not going to take your word seriously because they don't take themselves seriously. Okay? That's not what I said. And someone like me, right? When I say something, I mean it. And I mean what I say. And I only say what I mean. Therefore, I'm impeccable with my word and I trust myself. Therefore, I'm going to go even further on this. When I tell someone something, they can rely on me. They can depend on what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that I won't be late. I'm not saying that I won't change my mind ever. But you will know that if I do change my mind, you will know because I am impeccable with my word. See what I mean? So you can never go wrong with being impeccable with your word because you're in constant communication. Like, whoever communicates the best is always impeccable with their word, in my opinion. Like, I think one of the biggest compliments, I'll tell you the top two. The top two biggest compliments that I have received recently, and it really touched my heart to where it almost made me want to cry because I'm like, and I'm not trying to like sound egotistical or whatever. I'm just saying it really touched my own heart that someone saw this in me because I've been freaking working on it. I've been working on this, okay? To get my direct point across to people, like when I'm talking and everything. And it's this. One person specifically said, Cheyenne, you are a really good, excellent communicator. That touched my heart. Number two, you're very patient. And see, what people don't know is for one, God has been crafting and perfecting those two qualities inside of me the past few years. I've had a recent death in the family for the first time. I've been experiencing grief death-wise for the first time in my life. I've had lots of grief in my life. Part of that's because I'm a freaking Pisces and we've been going through this recent, Saturn return, if you know, 14 years. So that's part of it. But also just being a Christian, like you go through so many trials and just being a sympathetic, empathetic human like I am, like you're gonna go through so much to like learn how to set your own boundaries. And that's another thing, like the reason I have boundaries and I'm able to like, be impeccable with my word, and the reason that I am patient is because I've been through so much freaking gunk to get here. I have been through the heartache, still going through it. I have been through the ups and downs of life. I have been through so much loss you can't even imagine. I don't think anyone can imagine how much loss I've been through. This is not a pity party. This is not why I'm making this video. I want you to hear it in my voice, because let me tell you, the patience that I have now took hell to get here. The being impeccable with my word and excellent communicator has taken hell to get here. Okay? Like, I also want to be a little bit more vulnerable on something too, because I feel like this is going to help somebody. Even though people have freaking straight up told me, Cheyenne, you're so stable, you're so responsible, which I am responsible. They're not wrong. They're like, Cheyenne, how do you do it? How do you balance all these things? How do you do this? How do you get this done? Look, I'm here to tell you, I do not have it figured out, and neither do you. And literally, I don't know. Like, that is my answer. That is my final answer. Because let me tell you, every single day, it has been a freaking challenge to be mentally stable in this world today. As a Pisces sun, as a Cancer moon, as a Libra rising, and as a female who is single in 2026, sometimes I'm losing it. Okay? Sometimes I'm freaking losing it. I don't know how I'm still standing. I'm being honest with you. This is how I feel. I do not know how I made it, but I did. And it has to be, and it is because of the grace of God. Okay? Because there's some days where I do not feel stable. There's some days where I feel very weak. There's some days where I feel like I'm going to lose it, like I'm going off the deep end. Because life hurts so much, or because life is so hard, you know? But then on the flip side, right? There's other days where it's just, my life is perfect. And I know that sounds contradicting, but the truth is, life is contradicting, you know? This is how I would describe it, because I'm freaking living it in 2026. Being Gen Z, being a female who's single, being the birthplace that I'm in. Like, living in LA. Like, growing up with a tough childhood. Like, life has not been easy. But I'll tell you this, God has given me the tools to make it bearable. And the reason I think he chose me, I'm about to preach right now. The reason why I believe God chose me for such a time as this, for a message like this, to have the patience that I do, to have just everything that I do, there's been a big cost. It cost me having my parents growing up. It cost me, I'm getting a little teary-eyed talking about it, because God's brought me through it. That's why I'm getting emotional. I've been sick a lot in my life. I've been in and out of hospitals. I had immune compromises, and I believe these were attacks from the enemy to try to get me off course. I just went through being sick for a week and a half, and I'm just now finishing antibiotics, and today's the first day that I can actually breathe. And I think partially what's saving me in my health right now this week is I'm ovulating this week. That's why I'm able to even like get up and feel okay while being on this medication. Okay? But back to what I was saying. God, oh, I just want to cry, but I don't want to make this video me crying. It's just, I have been through hell. Like, people are like, okay, there was this guy last night. And The reason I'm flabbergasted is because I'm feeling so much right now. But I'm trying to get the words out because I know God wants me to get this message out. But I'm taking my time because there's no rush. I live alone in my apartment. There's no rush, okay? But I'm the type of person I like to savor the moment, not to be dramatic, but to show that these are my real feelings. There was a guy yesterday. I'll give you an example. He was like, "You are the most beautiful girl I've ever seen." And yeah, of course that makes me feel good. Who doesn't like to hear that? But also, he's like, "You're so, like, I've had people say you're so angelic, Cheyenne. You're so gentle. You're so sweet." And I'm sitting here thinking, you have no idea. You have no idea what's going on inside of my brain. You have no idea what I've been through this year alone and what I've came from to be this gentle and to be this sweet, to be this giving. You just don't know. And here's the thing about givers in this life, and I consider myself one. I am one. Givers have been taken from the most, okay? I'm going to give you a real message right now. Like, I have been raped in my life. Like, sexually taken from. That was my very first time, okay? I have been taken from financially. I have had my own family members steal money from me. I have been taken from emotionally. My name's been slandered in my own family. Do you see a pattern here? My point to you is, you have no reason to not be a giving human. I don't care what you've been through. Like, you have to remain a good human in this world, no matter what. And I'll tell you what, the blessing is right around the corner. If you're going through hell, if your hell is now, because my hell is over. I'm just letting you know. I know for a fact the worst is over. You know why? Because I've hit my breaking point this year. And I told God that. I said, you know what? And I'm getting teary-eyed even like bringing it up. I was like, you know what, God? This is it. This is my breaking point. Like, I have been tested and tested and tested. And especially after, I had a sibling pass away. Oh, are you kidding? Are you joking? That was the tip of the iceberg for me, And I am not afraid to show my emotion. But talking about God, talking about my life testimony gets me so emotional because it's that deep. I have such a deep, deep life. It is not made for... My life story is not made to fall on ears that don't understand it. Okay? This message is so urgent, what I'm about to share once I get through this slow stuff right now. This message was so urgent, I did not even eat or drink water when I woke up. And I am parched, believe me. I've been watching the series called Messiah on freaking Netflix. And let me tell you, if you've watched it, you know what parched is. And that's how I feel right now. I feel like that guy who's parched, who's been in the desert, have not ate or drank in days. But this is what I want to tell you. I prayed for patience years ago to God. And this is going to be a more serious message. You could already tell by my tone, by my words, by my face, okay? When you pray for patience from God, you better know what you're praying for. Okay? Because when I prayed for patience 3 years ago, I did not know I was praying. I'll just be honest with you, I'm never praying for that again. Good thing is, I don't think I have to, because I do have ample patience now, but it's because of what I pray for. And God will give you what you pray for. Okay? If you pray for patience, He's going to take you through hell. And I've been through hell and back. And I don't say that lightly. And there's a lot that I do not share online because I'm not ready mentally to share it. But trust me, when I do, God is going to anoint me, bless me. He's already anointed me. I'm grateful for the oil that He's given me. And I will continue to use every last drop of the oil that God's given me to burn for Him. But let me tell you, there has been so much more oil that I have not used yet because I am not ready. I am not ready to use it. I have so much of my story to share online, but I need to heal first to share it. And God knows that. And I am not afraid to cry on camera. I am not afraid of portraying my raw emotion to the world because this is what I am born for. This is what I came here for, to share my story, to show the world that it's okay to be vulnerable, that it's okay to hold space for yourself and for people, and that it's okay to go through hard times and still come out strong. I also want to say this. It's important to self-regulate. This week has been one of those weeks for me that I've had to self-regulate a lot. I don't know if it's because my birthday's coming, Pisces season's coming, lots of water, lots of crying. But there's just something in the air. It's just been so heavy. It's been so heavy. So heavy. And I feel it and I'm absorbing it. And I've been sick and it's been a test. It's been a test because every time when I do something God says, every time when I'm working on something, God tells me what to do, I am severely tested. And it is not fun testing. It is hell. Okay? And I'm making this video for the person that is afraid to feel, for the person that's afraid to admit that they're hurting with what God is telling them to do. Because what God has told me to give up, it has not been easy. Like, I have hated it, and I still hate it. I've had to give up having... Oh, man, where do I start? I've had to give up, and I still have to give up having comfort, okay? I've had to learn what it's like to be a strong, independent woman without a man comforting me, without a father comforting me, without a mother comforting me, without grandparents comforting me. I've had to learn to be self-sufficient. I've had to learn how to be the oldest daughter, to be the responsible person in the family that is the glue that holds the family together. And that's a lot of responsibility. But God knew I could take it. I've had to go without love, without reassurance, without words of affirmation. Hence, that's my love language now. I've had to learn how to be weak in order for my strength to show. Okay? I've had to learn to take an L to be a W. I've had to learn that the traditional life as a woman, it doesn't work for my calling. That one hurts. You know, because there's been things that I've wanted, but God was like, not yet. Or there's been things that I've, wanted to do. God's like, nope. Because it hasn't been time. It's not that I'm not going to get it. It just hasn't been time. I hear God say he needs me to be patient a little bit longer. And I am trying my best. And it hurts on the way there. This is why I'm making this video. Because it hurts during the process. Like, while you're doing the right thing, hear what I'm saying right now. While you're doing the right thing, it hurts emotionally and sometimes physically. You need to hear that. This is for somebody right now. I sense it. Look, it's not easy being a chosen one like you and me. And I know there's chosen ones watching this. It's normal to feel like this. You're going to feel hopeless. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel lonely most of all. You're going to be like, God, where are you taking me? What? And sometimes we do take ourselves on detours. Okay. Sometimes we also take the wrong exit. And I've done that. And I do that. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I say yes to God every day, okay? I'm being vulnerable enough to tell you that. I'm not Mrs. Perfect and like, oh yeah, like, I do everything God tells me. No. In fact, I'm freaking rebellious, okay? This is real Christian talk. Real talk here. There's been so many times recently where I'm like, F you, God. F what you're telling me. And F them kids too. You know what I mean? And what I mean by F them kids, I'm like, F the people who sent you to me. Because I don't want to listen. But, like, even when I let go, when I let go, of God, he still has his fingers like this with me. Like, I'm like, look, sometimes I'm like this, and then when I let go, he's like that. He doesn't ever fully let me go. And he's not going to do that with you either. He's just not going to do it. And I have asked God so many times. Oh my God, can you just take me from this world and take me to heaven in my sleep? Can you kill me, please, so I don't kill myself? I've asked God, I'm like, can you take me up to heaven like you did with Enoch? Okay? And he just says, no, because I'm still standing in this world, in my bed. And you know what? I'm going to say something else that's not so popular. If you're still alive, even if you're laying in bed all day, you're still living your purpose. Because sometimes the tests that God takes you through and the trauma that he allows the devil to like put you through, sometimes you're literally like, all you have is breath that day. All you have is the energy to stay awake and to stay alive. Sometimes all you have, you don't even have words to say, but you're alive, you're living. And that's okay. And that's part of God's will. Like going through that, like what you've been through and what I've been through, like you can't. Of course you can't stand up today. Of course you need a good 3 days to recoup. You know, of course you need to lay in bed for a week. I do that. Look, let me just say, unpopular opinion, I love being alone. God, I feel like God's telling me this right now. Like, the reason why chosen ones love being alone is because not only do we have to recharge and recoup from people who traumatize us and things we've been through, but it's because we're strong enough to be alone. A lot of people, in fact, most people are not strong enough to be alone. A lot of people are like, they're not like us because they're not chosen. You know, I've had so many people in my family misunderstand me and they still do. They still do. And they still put me down, but I'm not gonna deny the call of God. I'm not gonna say no. Because I know that God is crafting me. I know that he's shaping me. Into the woman he needs me to be. And these are not, well, partly they are. Partly sad tears, yes, but these are deliverance tears right now. These are character building tears. And I've been having a lot of them recently. Look. God does not promise an easy life. This life is brutal. People are going to hurt you. People are going to take what they can get. And I'm going to say something totally, again, unpopular. You better take what you can get to in certain situations. Like if there's a user, like, and you spot one, depending on who they are too, depending on their relationship too, I'm going to give you 2 things to do. If there's a user, this is very practical advice, okay? This is what I've done and it helps me. Now, if they're a user that's abusive in your family, obviously shut the door on them, love them from a distance, bye, right? But if it's someone like in the business field or someone basically that you can level up with, endure it a little bit, but, you know, whatever. Lay your little boundary, but make sure you get yours. That's another message I have, because the truth is there's more users than there are givers of this world. And that's just me being realistic, because I'm a realist. I'm a real Christian, okay? I'm a raw, real Christian. I show real emotions on here. I tell you real life things that I feel led to, that I'm comfortable with. So therefore, if there's a user in your life, but you know that they can give you leverage, use the leverage. Take the leverage. Protect yourself at the same time when you do it, and you know how to do that. But, don't trust the person, but do it, because I'll tell you what, God uses everybody. God uses atheists. Like, God used an atheist to take me to church one time, and the atheist didn't know God was using him. Yeah. So, in a similar way, use what God gave you. Even people sometimes. Now, I'm not saying trample over people. I'm not preaching that right now. I'm saying, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm saying, if someone has evil intentions towards you, but they can help you in an area, use that. Utilize what you have. That's it. That's all I'm saying. In a sense, use them back. In a sense. But don't let them use you. And that takes having discernment and wisdom to do that. Okay? And I'll tell you what, I've acquired that. I've learned how to do that in LA. I've learned how to navigate. It's a trip. But, life is a trip. You have a good day when you cry, when you laugh and smile, and when you get mad in the same day. That's a good day because you've had the full human emotional experience in one day. And God loves you. Like, God cares about us. You have to keep reminding yourself of that no matter how life feels. Like, today, honestly, because I've been feeling like this, I had a good day yesterday, but it's, clearly been emotional today. I'm just going to take it easy. Like, definitely going to get some calls done because I have some calls to do. I have a few things to do. But, like, it's definitely going to be a mental health day. Like, I'm going to relax and make sure I relax. Whether I'm doing work or not, like, I'm going to relax. And sometimes, like, I don't do anything at all. And there's been days and there's times where I dissociate. Like, because I've been through so much. To where, like, and this is me, real talk. Like, I've been through so much, sometimes I'm dissociating while I'm doing stuff. And I feel it. Like, I feel like I'm shoving it down. And then when I get home, I cry. But at least I cry. At least I get it out one way or another. Through dance, through crying, through exercise. Because you got to get it out somehow, or you're going to take it out on somebody. Like, you got to create space for yourself. Like, you can't keep living like that. You can't keep going like that. So, if you're dissociating, you need to take a couple days off and just take a chill pill from work, from everything, from people. Okay? So that's why I'm making this video. I don't want you to feel guilty for having feelings. Even a model like me. Like, I've done modeling, acting, I've been on podcasts, like, low-key, people could say I'm famous. I've been told that, but it's funny, you never feel it, even though you've been told. I've had everything someone could want in life. And I still feel like this sometimes, and I'm still a Christian. I'm trying my best. Like, I don't care how famous you are. I've met people less and more famous than me in this life. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at, who you are, like, yeah, you're still a human at the end of the day. We all want to be loved. We all need money. Like, we all go through crap. And we all need support. And, like, look, if you don't have God, you're not going to get through this life. You're just not. You know, that's how some of those people end up on the street, because they just don't have God. Like, pray to God. Once you're in alignment, you're still probably going to feel like this, like even when you're in alignment with God. But with God, it's easier. With God, it's more simple. Because you have Him, and you know you have Him. And it's in the back of your head at all times. But if you don't have God, you have no hope. And if you have no hope, you're eventually just going to lead yourself in the ground. You are. You're just going to off yourself, because I've seen it happen. Now, God definitely gives last chances with people on their deathbed. I've seen that happen too. But it's just better to like follow God, believe in Him, be grounded in Him early on. And whatever you're holding on to in this life, like, let go of it. Like, and if you don't know how to let go of it, ask God. Say, God, I really want this, and it's making me depressed that I don't have it. I literally am going to do that with God today, because there's something in my head that I'm holding on to. And sometimes it's a person, by the way, but we're not going to get into that. And I'm like, God, I want this really bad. I want it really bad, really, with all my heart and soul. And I know when I get in that mindset of obsession, that's what I have to let go of for my own sanity. And every time it hurts the same amount, it never gets easier, but I know I have to do it. And I say, God, you know what I want. Help me to let go of it, because I don't want to be codependent on anything in this life. I only want to be dependent and interdependent on you, God. Because I'll tell you what, the only circumstance, the only person that you can be codependent in this life with without having a negative consequence is God Himself. Everyone else, everything else is temporary. Even if you get married and you have a happy marriage and you guys are deeply in love, one of you guys are going to die first. And you're going to have to deal with that grief. I'm not trying to sound depressing when I say that. I'm being realistic. And to be honest with you, I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm like, do I want to get married just to lose that person? And then it makes you think like, oh God, take me first so I don't have to deal with that. Well, my point is, we all have to be alone at some point. Whether you die first and you serve judgment with God alone at the end of this life, or your loved one dies and then you're alone. Regardless, you're alone. You see what I mean? You come into this world alone with nothing, you leave this world with nothing. I think that's important wisdom to inherit and be aware of. And it is. It is depressing, but it's also refreshing. Sometimes news can be depressing and refreshing. Just like that, what I just said. So your mom's not going to save you. Your sister's not going to save you. Your spouse isn't going to save you. So you gotta hold on to God, because He's holding on to you. And He's not going to let go of you. Even when times are tough and it feels like you want to die. He's not going to let go of you. You could definitely be on the edge. You could definitely be on the surface. You could definitely be almost jumping off a cliff. But as long as you don't go off the deep end, you still got it. You're still the chosen one. You're still here. You could be close to the finish line, but you're not finished. And trust me, I'm there right now. And I think you can feel it. And I have been here in and out for a while. I would say the past 5 months, I've been in and out. But I know it's because my breakthrough's coming. I don't know what shape or form, but I feel it, and I'm having faith, and I trust. I trust God, even through my tears, even through depression, even through suicidal thoughts, even through saying heck with it all. I trust God. Because He's all I have. He's all I've ever had. He is the only thing, the only reason I am still alive today. And I'm encouraging myself by even saying this right now. You know, you got to say things out loud to yourself to reinforce it in your subconscious. Because when you're going insane, like I've been, you need that. Words are powerful. The Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue. And the Bible says that when you're weak, He is strong through you. And I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13, one of the most famous verses ever. And it's also the most profound verse. Because you don't get strength yourself. God is strong through you. There's a difference. And crying with God is different than crying alone. And we can't do anything without God. And you can't get through hard things without God. God's strength permeates through you to get through it. And this is a very hard message that I am speaking on today, but there's a lot of heaviness in the world right now, and because I'm a giver, I'm saying this. I am so sorry for what you've been through, even if anyone else, I just feel like there's someone watching this right now, and no one has said sorry to you. I also feel like there's a person, whether it's the same one or a different one, that you've had a parent that has never told you I love you. Well, I'll tell you what. I have one of those too, and it's not fun. And when you don't receive love from a parent like you should, oh my gosh, creates so much issues that you have to heal from as an adult. And trust me, I know what that takes, and I know what it feels like. But I'll tell you what, if you're still breathing, if you're still alive, you still have purpose. And you're not broken. If you were fully broken, you wouldn't be here. Like, we are all damaged, but we're not all broken. Okay? There's a difference. I think if someone's broken, they're dead. Like, spiritually dead. But, like, we're all damaged. We're all human. So, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to admit that. Like, whoever's acting like they're perfect and have it all together, they're freaking bullcrapping you through the butt. Okay? To say it nicely. Like, no one has it figured out. You could take Jacob Elordi. You could take freaking George Washington. You can take freaking Donald Trump. Like, no one has it all together. We are all attempting. We are all trying to have it all together, but we don't. And the truth is, we never will. The older you get, the more wise you get, the more mature you get, you realize you don't have it all together. Solomon in Ecclesiastes basically goes on this rant, okay? He's the wisest man in the Bible. He wrote Proverbs and Ecclesiastes and a little bit of a different book. I forget right now. But basically he goes, life is pointless. What's the point of life if you have to keep eating every day? You have to keep drinking every day to survive. You're on to the next thing, on to the next. It's like our flesh is never satisfied. Our flesh is never satisfied because our spirit is what matters. Our flesh is never satisfied because it's never supposed to be satisfied. It was never supposed to be satisfied. We're supposed to Our spirits are supposed to live eternally somewhere. We are eternal beings in flesh suits. Therefore, this flesh is temporary. That's why the flesh is never satisfied. But our souls are supposed to live on eternally. Our spirits are supposed to live on forever. So we're only fulfilled in this life when we're spiritually fulfilled, because our flesh is never going to be fulfilled. Does that make sense? That being said, this world is temporary, our flesh is temporary, emotions are temporary, people are temporary. That being said, we're temporarily passing through because we're meant to live eternally in heaven. That's what I believe. And if you're spiritual, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the vibration you have to be on to have that knowledge I just shared is impeccable. Like, it's astronomical. It's completely out of this world of a feeling. And that's why I'm okay with crying on camera. That's why I'm okay with going through the motions and being vulnerable with you guys, because look, I'm not going to be here forever, and neither are you. But who is forever is God. Who is eternal is Jesus. Who is eternal is the Holy Spirit. And He's the only reason why I keep pushing. He's the only reason why I'm here, even when I don't want to be here. Okay? And I've had many moments where I don't, including my sibling that just passed away. She didn't want to be here either. That's why she's not. But yeah, it's... all I can say is talk to God in your depression. Talk to God in the middle of the mess. Just like I am, because, look, no one's going to do it for you. No one can do it for you. Trust me, I've tried. I think I've tried everything. I've tried every spiritual belief system you could think of. Nothing else works except Jesus Christ. Nothing else works except God Himself. When I feel like I want somebody more than God, that's when I'm like, all right, pump the brakes. God, you better get a hold of me, because I'm about to be crazy. Because when I like someone or like something, I get obsessed with it. And that's when I get in trouble, right? Now, this person doesn't know that. Or whatever, cluster of people, whatever. They don't know that, but I drive myself crazy and I get codependent, and it's part of my human nature, right? Because we all have human nature. But the key is to just remain detached, let go, and let God. And it takes practice. It's not going to be all smooth, fine, and daisies when you do that, when you make that decision, because really you're making that decision with God. Every time you're growing attached to someone or something, like, you got to make the conscious decision to detach and be like, look, this does not serve my purpose. This is, temporary, just like everything. And you got to remind yourself that, or else you're just going to be miserable longer. And I'll tell you what, like, it is not good. It is a vicious cycle of going over and over and under, like, so anyways, only be codependent on God. God knows your heart. He knows you more than anyone else, and He loves you. And He's the answer. He's the answer for everything. He'll show you your purpose. He'll give you new purpose when you've lost your old one, and He will rejuvenate every part of your being and refresh you in the moments that you need most, when you feel like you have nothing left. So, Anyways, love you so much. I'm gonna eat something to get out of this funk today. And I'm just gonna take it easy. I love you and have a blessed day. Bye.